right, hi everyone. This is Paul Vizard, and I'm with Business Network Television on 30A TV. And I've got a special guest today. It's really cool because I love authors and I love reading books more than people know. And I'm with Dr. Jean Mathurin. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
That's perfect.
And he's got a great book that I'm showing here, and look at that, it's see-through. Look at that, isn't that amazing? Yeah. So it's the 7 checklist items for success. And welcome to the show today. Pleasure to have you all the way from Pensacola. So appreciate you taking the trip.
Thank you.
And so tell us a little bit about your story and your book. You are actually a medical doctor in the Navy. Thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you.
And this is a pretty inspiring book. I've been glancing through it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thank you to your viewers. Tell you about the book. As you say, I'm currently active duty military, so whatever I share with your viewers at this point is my views. They do not represent the view of the Navy, nor the Department of Defense. But really, the book started. You
gotta have that disclaimer.
The idea for the book really started. It's a book that I wanted to write for my nephew. So he was going through some difficult time. So I started to jot down a few notes for him, and the process was taking me quite some time. So I figured maybe this could be beneficial for my own son one day. And in the process, I say, okay, maybe if my nephew can benefit from that, maybe other people might also benefit from it. And it was very easy to change it into a book, and here's the idea for the book, and we published it.
Yeah, you've got quite a story, though. I mean, I know that you're not American born like me, and so tell us a little bit about that and where you're kind of the snippet of your journey to this point.
Sure, definitely. Well, I grew up in Haiti, and for me, it's a long journey, and I like to start with that journey at the beginning, if you don't mind. So I'll tell people, I will take them to my 1-bedroom house in Haiti, where my parents, with their 8 children, live. So I'm the 7th of 8. So I was about 5 years old. Those were some of my first memory. I remember things were very tough for my family. So having even a meal per day was a lucky day.
Yeah.
And I remember in that house where we're living, on the outside of the house, my mom had a turkey, live turkey, with one leg tied to the side of the house. Yeah. So I'll be asking my mom each time I see that turkey when I'm going to cook that turkey.
Yeah.
And every time she will tell me the same thing. She will say, this is a turkey that I'm trying to fatten to donate to the doctor who saved my life. So the story is that 2 years prior, she was very sick. My folks were from the countryside of Haiti. So from the countryside, they go to Port-au-Prince, which is the capital of Haiti. So my mom needed to have a surgery that turned out to be a life-saving surgery. My father was a farm worker. Farm work in Haiti is a very low job, so they couldn't pay for that surgery that my mom needed. So in the process, the surgeon realized what was going on and told my parents, hey, I understand what's going on here, so I will perform the surgery for free. All you guys have to do is to pay for the medication. So in the process of paying for the medication, my dad ended up selling pretty much half of everything he owned to pay for the surgery. So my mom then, every year, that turkey is a turkey that she will donate to that physician as a way to say thank you.
Wow.
So to me, that was my first lesson in gratitude.
Yeah, for sure.
But I remember I told my mom, you know what? I want to become a doctor so that one day my patients will bring me turkey.
Wow.
And so this is how the idea started. But as you can imagine, I had so many obstacles that I had to face. I didn't really know it was going to be possible. So fast forward 1 year from that story of the turkey I'm telling you, my dad was very desperate. At this point, he sold half of the land that he owned. He couldn't really feed us, so he was getting very desperate to see us going hungry in front of him. So he ended up selling almost everything he owned, he had left, and to pay for a boat ride to come to the US and to come to Miami. So from there he will work. After 1 year, he was trying to find a job, and after 1 year or so, he started sending money to Haiti, and this is how send some money. So my mom had some money able to send us to school. So I went to school for the first time when I was about 7 years old. So with there started, I took school very seriously because I had that dream to become a doctor so that I can get turkey for my patients.
Yeah. Now is that working?
I'm yet to receive a turkey.
So there you go. So now we're gonna have an update to this story. You watch. I'm telling you on that.
So, long story short, my dad came to the U.S. So he applied for a green card. So he applied for us from Haiti to come here. So when I came to the U.S., I was 20 years old. So I started as a dishwasher at a casino in Immokalee, Florida, which is a small city close to Naples, in Fort Myers, Florida. So I was washing dishes there, and my friends, as a dishwasher, they used to make fun of me, say, Jesus will come first before I can ever become a physician. And what they were looking at my accent. I didn't speak English well, and obviously I didn't have any money to pay for school. So they were looking at the challenges. But what they forget to realize is that anything actually is possible if one have a dream.
Put your mind to it.
Exactly.
For sure.
So long story short, I ended up becoming a physician, and I'm working for the Navy. Did my residency in family medicine in the Navy, and after my residency, they sent me to Yokosuka, Japan, where I was stationed there for 3 years. And then from Yokosuka, Japan, I applied for a second residency, and now I'm stationed in Pensacola, Florida, where I'm doing a second residency in aerospace medicine. So, in short, this is the story.
Wow. I mean, that is quite a journey, isn't it? And it just shows you that, somebody, can grow up and, if you have some ambitions and dreams, they can come true for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't necessarily know how that's going to turn out or how you're going to get up those steps, but it looks like you've got a checklist of steps that people could take here.
Yeah.
So obviously you had some inspiration for the book as well.
Yeah.
And I've been glancing through it here, and some of these checklists are really cool because the first one right here that we see on the book here is goals, and I wish we had the list of them. That you can read a bit better than that. My little finger up here. So the first one right there is is goals, and a lot of people don't even really set goals. They kind of just wander through. It's wander through life. But if you make that checklist of your goals, even there's a pretty good chance that that's a starting point to where say, okay, well, how are we going to get to these goals?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
I will. So in aviation, as I was telling you, right now working for the Navy as a aerospace medicine resident. During my beginning of this program, one thing I've learned is about the checklist that they use in aviation. So when pilots fly, they don't just go to those aircraft and just start the engine and take off. So they go through what they call the checklist. And during the process of going through that checklist, if they find anything wrong, they stop, they take care of the problem, and before they continue.
Sure.
In my opinion, looking at this thing, so I'm looking at this, and I saw from the 1950s aircraft accident in the Navy, the rate was so high, about 55%. And to nowadays, where aircraft mishap is so low, just a couple percentage per year. So I was like, in my opinion, I feel that the checklist has a lot to do with that decrease of the accident rate. And I'm like, if something like this can work, the idea of a checklist can work so well, in my opinion, for aviation, can we as humans use something similar for our life? And someone like me who grew up almost with nothing, but I've realized I've seen successful people, all of them tend to have something in common. And I think you might agree with me, but every successful people that you have met, to some level, they will tell you about their goals.
Oh yeah.
They tend to have goals. And those people, they don't just talk about goals, but they actually take action.
Oh yeah.
And you keep looking, and you will see there are a few more things. They don't just take action for just a month, 2 months, but they tend to commit. No matter how long it takes, no matter how many times, some people will call it fail, but they don't call it failure. They call them setback. No matter how many times you think they will fail, they will continue until success is possible. I'm sure we heard of the story of Thomas Jefferson with the light bulb, where he failed. Edison, sorry. About 10,000 of time, and people will say, why you didn't give up? And he said, no, I just figured different ways of.
One of my favorite quotes is an actor talking with a director after the movie, and he said this is the most pleasing movie to work on because everything went straight through and it was smooth the whole way through the shooting, which was quite an intense time. It was a 10 to 15 week shoot, and the director said, well, it's too bad we didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then those are the things that successful people they have, and of course they seek to create value not only for themselves but for the people around them. But they also seek to invest. It's where you see successful people, they work and they just take the money and just waste it. They invest, and at the end of the day, you see something again. They seek to give back.
Yeah.
And the way that those people live their life, I felt that to me, that's a way that they end up living a life that way. You will end up either you think about it or not leave a legacy behind.
Right.
And because of that sense of urgency. And to me, those are what I put here that I call the 7 checklist items really for success.
I think it's a fantastic read, and I'll tell you what, it's been a pleasure talking to you today and hearing your story about where you've come from and where you are today. And we would now. So one question that I had today was, so you self-published this book. So did you go to Amazon for that? And actually, how was that whole process for you? Was it challenging, or just you read about it and then it just happens to fall in place?
Yeah, it was actually a very easy process. So there is obviously I wrote the book, and there I looked some videos on YouTube where people explain the process, and basically I just followed some of the YouTube advice that people gave, and published the book. But it's a very easy process nowadays.
Yeah.
So.
And then it's available on Amazon, and obviously you can get a physical copy as well as download to your Kindle and so on.
Correct, and also available Barnes and Noble, wherever books are sold, so people can get
that is really neat. Yeah. And so just make sure that you understand that there's the power of video, because you're watching one right now, and obviously it's actually YouTube has, I believe it's 2 billion searches a day for how-to videos.
Oh,
that's astounding to me. So listen, go check out this book, and it's been a pleasure talking to Dr. Jean today.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time on Business Network Television.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Thanks so much. Oh, you got a website?
Yes, the website is www.7checklistitems.com.
There you go. Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.